and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Order, honorable members. Honorable clerk, kindly confirm whether we have the quorum to transact today's business.
Honorable Speaker, there is quorum.
Now that we confirm that there is quorum for today's business, we can have the order of business.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to table a report on the Nandi County budget estimates for the financial year 2023-2024, and I wish to do so. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Birech, Chairperson Finance.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I wish to table Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023, second reading. Okay, I wish to table the report on Finance and Economic Planning Committee report on Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023.
Honorable members, I wish to acknowledge the receipt of the report on Finance and Economic Planning Committee report on the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023. I also acknowledge the receipt of the report of the County Budget and Appropriation Committee on the Nandi County budget estimates for the financial year 2023-2024. Next order.
Order number 6. Order number 7, statements. Sorry. Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to give notice of motion on the report on the Nandi County budget year 2023-2024. I do though. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023, second reading.
Sir Honorable Birech.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the report, I want to present the report of Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023, second reading. Honorable Speaker, the report contains the committee work on consideration of the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023. The bill was read first time on 23rd May 2023 and subsequently committed to the Sectoral Committee on Finance and Economic Planning. The committee since considered the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023 following its committal to the Committee for Consideration and conducting public participation. As you are aware, the Constitution and the Public Finance Management Act 2012 places significant responsibilities on the County Assembly over the management of public resources, particularly with regard to legislation, resource mobilization, allocation, monitoring and control. The bill is compliant with the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the County Government Act 2012, and various provisions of the Public Financial Management Act 2012 and its regulation thereto. Mandate of the committee. Honorable Speaker, Finance and Economic Planning established in accordance with Section 14B of the County Government and Act 2012 and Standing Order 194 of the County Assembly Standing Orders. The committee is vested with the mandate of considering matters relating to economic policies, planning, projects, and programs as proclaimed by the county executive through bills, reports, papers, and speeches made by the governor and those officers appointed by him or her, all matters related to finance in the county government. Members of the committee, Honorable Paul Birech, who is chair, Joseph Piet, vice chair, Benjamin Mampata, who is a member, Lisa Chepkimbo, who is a member, Eliud Kirwa, who is a member, Valentine Chemutai, who is a member, Richard Piet, a member, Salma Faraj, member, Nicholas Kimboy, member. I would like to offer my gratitude to the officers of the Speaker and the County Assembly Clerk for support offers in this process. Further, I wish to express my appreciation to honorable members of the committee, the members of the public for their immense contribution, the Secretariat together with all other members of this assembly for their worthy contribution during the public participation and the completion of this report. Therefore, it's my pleasure to depose this report proposed adoption by the House on behalf of the Finance and Economic Planning Committee, signed. Honorable Speaker, the committee, in exercise of this mandate made under Section 87 of the County Assembly Act 2012 and Article 196 and 201 of the Constitution, the committee invited members of the public to commit memoranda to the Office of the Clerk, filed newspaper advert 29 May 2023. The committee also undertook public participation exercise in the following 6 sub-counties of Nandi. On Monday 5th at Kaiboi Cooperative Society in Mosop and Christ the King in Jesumei. On Tuesday 6th were held in Kapsabet Municipal Hall, Mgwen and Jemulai Chief's Office in Aldai. On 7th were held in Mogon Social Hall in Nandi Hills and Berere Center in Tinderet. The Nandi County Equitable Development Bill was uploaded to the County Assembly website for ease of access by members of the public. Historical development of the Ward Fund. Honorable Speaker, in the first County Assembly of Nandi, Ward Development Fund Act 2014 were considered and passed by the House. At the implementation stage, the Controller of Budget declared the Act to be inconsistent with the Constitution of the following reason. Because of the following reasons: 1, involvement of the County Assembly in the management of the fund, and 2, the many committees which had been created in the Act which defeated its purpose. In 2018, Honorable Speaker, the County Assembly enacted the Nandi Nandi County Community Development Act 2019, which repealed the Nandi County Ward Development Act of 2014. However, the said act was never implemented. Analysis of the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023, Honorable Speaker. The Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023 strives as to approach to happen or county development that aims to ensure fairness, justice, and inclusivity in the process and outcomes. It focuses on addressing historical disparities, creating opportunities for all the county residents, particularly those who have been marginalized or disadvantaged. The efforts, and I think through we can get access to that copy on your gadgets, and that's been explained in detail on how we derived and get information on the way forward about this Water Development Fund, all the way from going to various counties to assess on how they are working. And I would like to briefly go directly to areas where the bill is more concentrated on. And it says equitable development across all the wards in the county to ensure that sharing the resources within the county, and two, to promote the decentralization and functions and provision of services in the county. Government to extend that is a vision, practical, and to provide framework from the participation of the residents each ward, identification of priority projects and the county respect which the funds has been allocated. Honorable Speaker, originally the bill had been cassetted on 18th May 2023. And we were able to see the contents of this bill. Honorable Speaker, there were many areas which the committee was in agreement the way the bill had been cassetted, and there was areas which the committee recommended for the amendment. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, the main areas which the members of the committee had recommended for an amendment, I will just read the way it is. It says that not less than 40% of the county government allocation for development expenditure shall be set aside for ward development and shall be equitably distributed to all the wards within the county. I'm just reading the way the first proposal were. And two, at least 5% of the ward development allocation in A above, and at least 5% of the remaining 60% of the county government allocation shall be appropriated for equalization of equity within the wards in the county. And C, the remaining development funds shall be for flagship projects and shall be distributed equitably within the county through public participation and approved by the county assembly. Honorable Speaker, that is how the said bill had proposed. And now, there is some proposals or the findings of the committee, and I'm going to read on those areas that we felt it needs some changes for an amendment. So, the bill amended at clause 5 as follows. By deleting clause 5A and B and substituting with the following. Not less than 50% of the county national shareable revenue and on-source revenue for development expenditure shall be set aside for ward development and shall be distributed to all the wards within the county. And B, at least 10% of ward development allocation in section 53A shall be appropriated equitably across all the wards. 2, at clause 5 by introducing to the following clause 5 after clause 5.4. What we are saying, Honorable Speaker, we are proposing that out of the development allocation, money allocated for development purely, we are taking 50% of this money. And this 50% of this money, we shall be pulling 10% We are leaving 50% with the executive for the flagship and other projects. And we are taking 10% of this 50% to go to equalization. So it means 40% of this money, of the development money, 40% of the development money shall be distributed equitably, meaning we shall share the 40% across the 30 wards equitably. And the remaining 10% out of 50, that is 10% of 50, we shall be sharing equitably based on the following factors. We said the 10% we shall divide into 3 categories. That is, with the population as the priority. That's the 60% of this 10% we shall share on equalization with using the population parameters. And number 2, we shall be taking 30% of this 10%. 30% of this 10% we shall allocate using poverty index. The reason why we decided to take 60% based on the population, we choose to use the criteria 1 shilling, 1/4, or 1/4, 1 shilling. That's why we chose to allocate 60% of this 10%, huge amount, to go to the population. And then 30% of this 10% to go to poverty index. And then now, this, we shall be using the latest statistical releases by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics on sharing this equalization fund. So there will be a guideline we shall be using the latest statistical releases by the National Bureau of Statistics. And finally, the bill is amended at clause 11D by deleting 5% and substituting with 10%. Honorable Speaker, I would want to give an example for the purpose of clarity. I want to give one example for the purpose of clarity on how yes, for the purpose of clarity, in an event, we are taking 2.5B as an money allocated purely for development out of our budget, which is 9.9B. So when we take 2.5B, it means we shall take 50% of these 2 billion, and 50% of 2 billion, it will be 1 billion. Out of this 1 billion, we shall take 10% of 1 billion. And this 10% of the 1 billion, it means it will be 100 million. And this 100 million, we shall take 60% of 100 million, and we distribute using population. It means we shall share 60 million using the population. Again, we shall take 30% of that money. And when you take 30%, it means how much? 30 million. We shall distribute using the other parameter that was poverty index. Okay? And the remaining 10% we shall be taking to use for the purpose of landmass. And the 40 million and the 40% of 1 billion, that is around 40% of 1B, that is around 400 million. We shall share equitably across the 30 wards. And I want to conclude by just reading the findings, and we proceed from there. Honorable Speaker, the County Assembly will provide oversight through a County Assembly Select Committee. Those are the findings of the committee over this bill. And 2, the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2026 to repeal the Nandi County Assembly Development Act 2019. 3, that the composition of the ward forum consists of the community representative, 1, from the registered groups, advanced gender balance, persons with disabilities, and minority group, as well as representative from each sub-location, with ward administrator, who shall be the secretary and ex-officio member. 3 or 4, that the chairperson of the ward forum shall be nominated that the chairperson of the ward forum shall be nominated. That's the chairperson of the forum. 2, that the ward forum shall be met quarterly in every financial year, and not more than 4 months shall elapse between the date of one meeting and the date of the next meeting. That the clause 9 of the bill provides that projects identified under clause 5 should be aligned with the annual development plan, the county fiscal strategy paper, the county budget estimates, and any other plans or documents provided by the county treasury. That the role of the county executive committee member will have all the powers necessary for the proper performance of its functions under this act. That the bill provides that the finding under act will be as follows, of which I had explained using the example earlier. The bill amended on clause 13B by deleting the following words: development committee, and substituting therefore with the following words: county executive committee member. The bill is amended by deleting clause 16 and its entirety. The bill is amended by deleting the words forum and word forums whenever it appears, and substituting therefore with the following words: word project identification committee. Mr. Speaker, the committee will be moving amendments to the bill at the committee stage. In conclusion, the County Equitable Development Bill 2023 will focus on creating inclusive and sustainable development for residents of Nandi, where everyone, regardless of their background of socio-economic status, has access to quality essential services, and seeks to eliminate discrimination and address systematic barriers that prevent certain groups from duly participating in and benefiting from the development process. Having raised the issues, I presented my committee findings and recommend the way forward. I seek that this House considers the proposed amendments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I request my Vice Chair, that's Honorable Beth, to second.
Honorable members, I now propose that the Nandi County Equitable Development Bill 2023 be read the second time. Yes.
Point of order.
Yes, Honorable Maina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Chair. I'm just seeking clarity of facts under or what the Chair just indicated. He talked about 50% of like 2.5. Then he started saying 1 billion. When I divide 2.5 by 2, it looks like it's a different figure. Then he said 10% of that 50%, he was working on 1 billion. He said that is 100 million. Now the balance, which is 90 million, which is 90%, I think is not 400. So I'm seeking clarity on those figures from the Chair. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Birech.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think I just want to make it right. I used 2 billion as an example of an amount that would be purely allocated to development. And I said, yes, Using 2 billion, if we take 50% of 2 billion, it means it is 1 billion, and 50% that remains is also 1 billion. Yes, and I said out of this 1 billion, if we take 10% or if we take 40%, if we take 40% of 1 billion, it is around 400 million. 900 million, right? The remaining 100 million, that is 10%, it goes to equalization. That is how things are. Thank you.
Honorable Isaiah Maina, is that satisfactory?
Honorable Speaker, I'm not very clear. Could probably the chairman indicate clearly that if you have taken 10% from 1 billion, what is the balance? I do not know how 40% comes in here again, because the whole amount was 50%. You have taken, and then now that becomes 100%. When you take the 50% and it is 1 billion, then when you're dealing with it, then it becomes 100%. No longer 40% doesn't arise anymore, if I'm not wrong.
Honorable Speaker, I think in mathematics, there are various ways of reaching to an answer. And to be specific, I don't know which language does Honorable Maina wants to use, a layman language or which one. Because I'm very specific. Either you said you take 10% of 1 billion, you take 10%, because we cannot take 10% of 1 billion. First, issue the 40%. Once you have issued the 40%, the 10% that remains, it goes directly to the equalization.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Birech, would you wish to be informed?
Thank you. Because he's my member of the committee, I would like him to proceed.
Well, you may proceed, Honorable Matata.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think, Mr. Speaker, to my understanding, what Honorable Maina is asking is right. Because, Mr. Speaker, 2 billion by 50 is 1 million. I think it is right for my chair to just indicate that out of 1 billion, 90% will be shared equally and 10% for equalization. I think that should be the point of clarity, Mr. Speaker. So the issue of 40% does not apply to the 1 billion that has been divided twice. The 2 billion is the development fund. Now, 50% of 2 billion is 1 billion. Now, so the issue of 40% does not apply to 1 billion. It does not apply there. So I think that is where my chair is not getting right. But now, out of the 50%, 10% will go for equity, for equalization. 90% will remain to be shared equally among the 30 wards. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Birech, are you now informed?
I think we need to strictly adhere with what the Act and the bill is saying. The issue of introducing 90%, issue of introducing 10% is not correct. This is a bill. We could have introduced 90% when this bill was being read. I think I'm very specific to what the Act and the proposed amendments is saying. And what I've just presented here is correct.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker. I think to be more...
No. Honorable Matata, you know, we'll have to seek the consent of Honorable Birech if you are to inform him further. Honorable Birech, do you wish to be further informed?
I don't want to be informed again because it seems to be giving contradicting statements outside what the bill is proposing. I think that's how things are.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Matata,
Yeah, I'm on a point of order now.
which standing order?
Number
Honorable
90,
member?
accuracy of facts.
Yes, you may proceed.
I think, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Birej is now trying to mislead honorable members. Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, 50% of the development vote is what will be given to go to the World Development Fund. Then now 10% of the 50% is what will go to equalization. So the remaining will go to all the wards. So it is only 10%. So the issue of 40% does not arise here anymore. Thank you.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker,
Honorable
think-
Birech.
Honorable Matata
Honorable Birech.
seems...
Honorable
yes,
Birech.
yes, thank you.
Seems that Honorable Kagoni wants to raise a point of order. Honorable Kagoni.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for this time. I feel like the Committee of Finance needs time to readjust and go through the report again and figure out what they're going through. So I humbly request you postpone the bill until a further notice. Go.
Honorable Kirwa.
Mr.
Mainde.
Speaker, sir, I don't think we are yet to postpone the bill. Because I am in that committee, being there as a member, the law is very clear. It states that out of where the contention is coming in is when the Honorable Birej is giving the example of. But the bill is very correct and 100%. Where he went wrong is when he gave us the wrong example or guidance. Currently, Mr. Honorable Member, Chair, who is my chair, Mr. Birej, you could have used the current example which is in the report so that it can guide the members on a factual and very guided way. I call upon the member to take us through the current example of the finance bill that we have. It's very guided and very articulated well. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Birech, you have a better example to use?
Honorable Speaker, I think the example that had been stated there, it was for the previous bill. Because here, we have the bill that we are proposing, that we are amending, and the original bill. What the original bill states, we are using the previous example. But what the current bill states is as follows. It says not less than 50%. Not less than 50% of the county national shareable revenue on source revenue for development management shall be set aside for ward development and shall be distributed to all the wards within the county. That is not less than 50%. And then it says at least 10% of the ward development allocation in section 53 shall be appropriated equitably across the wards. Now, and I think I need to be guided here once again. Yes, 10%. We are taking 10% from where? We are taking 10% from 50%. So it means the remaining 40%. We need to be, yes. Wait fast. We have the 50%, okay? Out of the share of 100% that was supposed to go to development, we have taken 10%. So the 90% that remains shall still be distributed equitably. But what happened? Wait and see. Wait. Yes, it is 50-50, right? Honorable members, listen. It is 50-50.
Honorable members, let's give him time
Yes.
to justify his example.
It is 50-50. Issue of 90% here does not arise. We need to be very clear. Issue of 90% does not arise. We are taking 50%, it is 50 executive, 50% comes to assembly. And now we are taking 10% from the 50. Yes, how much remains? 40%. Okay. Sure.
Order, honorable members.
Surely.
Order, honorable members.
Surely.
Honorable Birech. Honorable Birech.
I think
Honorable Birech. Honorable Birech.
Point.
Let me guide the House for a while. Honorable Birech, once 50% has been allocated to the Assembly, will it still remain to be 50% or 100% for the Assembly?
of course it is 100.
Yes, you may
It
proceed
is
from there.
100%. So, but when you will be divided, you know, all the formulas are the same. The only thing we are reading from the different script, but the formula is the same. Honorable Speaker, the formula of arriving at 100 million that was to equalization and using the other formula is the same. So, whichever the way, if you want us to use the 90%,
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Birech, back to you. Would you wish to be further informed by able chair
yes.
budget?
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to inform the House and the Honorable Chair, because we are getting some mixed signals. It is very important. Once we have the law is very clear, Honorable House. It is very clear, and therefore I know thereafter we will have a regulation. So that regulation will actually guide us very well in terms of the percentages. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Birech.
Thank you.
Still on your feet.
I think Mheshimiwa Korir has made it clear. The regulation now will come with those factors of saying 90% of this, 10% of this. But why don't we stick strictly with what the bill is saying? So I think we have agreed that 50%, 50%, and then 10%.
Order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sang.
I'm standing on order number 90, Mr. Speaker. I would wish to get it clearly from the Chairman Finance. On page 10, uh, 7.0, that is one on the amendment. You realize that the chair has talked of the bill is amended at clause 5 as follows. By deleting clause 5, subsection 3, A and B, and substituting with the following, A, not less than 50% of the county's national shareable revenue and on-source revenue for development expenditure shall be set aside for ward development and shall be distributed equally to all wards within the county. Now, Mr. Speaker, once the 50% is distributed equally among the 30 wards, where again do you get the 10%?
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
So we would wish to be guided to get to know, because the clause should have not read, it is fixed that you divide it equally. Then again you come and take 10% from the ward allocation. So the first clause should have not talked of equally. My thinking. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Point of clarification, Mr. Speaker, sir.
What do you want to clarify, Honorable Bet? I thought it is, or you are assisting your able chair.
I also serve in the same committee, Mr. Speaker.
Well.
What is disturbing this house is how we play around these figures. I want to say this, and Honorable Matata made it very clear. To my chair, we are all aware that development fought is 100% from the National Treasury. And this 100% shall be divided into two. 50% will remain within the executive for the purposes of flagship projects. The 50% now that we are using for equitable development, or rather what fund, is what we call 100%. This is 100% meant for equitable development fund. And this 100% now, the 100%, which essentially is 50% of the total allocation for Nandi County government. Essentially, it means the 90% we have shall be shared equitably within the 30 wards. And the 10% that shall remain will be meant for the purposes of equalization. And that one puts us very clearly on what the 90% is, Honorable Chair. And we are reading from the same script, but I think interpretation was different. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Birech.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Are you now well informed? You know?
Point of information, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you.
You well informed?
Correct.
Honorable Mindy?
I still stand with my first formula that we are to share. Given that 50% of development vote, which is 2.5 million, if you take 50% of that and take 10% of, not 1 billion, 10% of the development vote and take 40% of development vote, it will still arise and gives us the same position. Get me clear, 50% of all allocation of development vote and take 10% of all development vote and take 40% of all development vote, it will give us to the right position of the law where it states clear. Whereby if you combine the 10% plus 40% of all the development vote gives us to 50%.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, point of order, Mr. Speaker.
This is mathematics in play.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Keter.
Mr. Speaker, I'm standing on point of order number 90, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
If you realize, Mr. Speaker, I'm almost buying what Honorable Kagoni is saying. Mr. Speaker, the chair have talked. Imagine, Mr. Speaker, the members of the committee are the ones talking here, Mr. Speaker, from different versions, Mr. Speaker, which means they have not agreed. Mr. Speaker, we had agreed with what Honorable Pet said. And then Kagoni again, Honorable Mahindi again, stands, Mr. Speaker, goes back to where the chair was. That means, Mr. Speaker, it is putting us in an awkward position. Give us, if we agree, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order.
Honorable
Point of
Matata,
order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Matata, Honorable Keter is on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Matata had cleared very well. We came again to the mat. And then after that, Honorable Bet has clarified, we understood, and we cheered it. Again, Honorable Mahindi, the same member of the committee, is also talking. Mr. Speaker, let the committee give us one direction so that we move.
Point of order.
Honorable Keter is still on a point of order. Unless he's done, is when I'll give you an opportunity.
Mr. Speaker, my point was, Mr. Speaker, on 90, Mr. Speaker, let the committee, Mr. Speaker, I don't know. If they will agree in this house, then we will move on. If they will still contradict themselves, Mr. Speaker, allow us as members, we give them a break, they will go and negotiate and come back with one position.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have one point because I was on my foot. Contrary to what Mr. Honorable Keter is saying that.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Let me clear. 1 minute. I clarify my point.
On which point of order is he standing on, the honorable member?
I was on my vote. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, proceed.
If we can't use the formula of 50% of development vote. If we cannot use that one, let me clear it first. 10% of development vote plus 40% of development vote will go toward. If we come to the formula of bet, is that after devolving the same 40% to not outside the law, after not using the accumulation of the whole sum amount of 2.5 of development, if you have separated, you can come and use your formula whereby it can apply after you have been allocated to. But the law states clearly that 10% of development vote or 40% of development vote, whereby Mr. Pett was right is that after you have been given your amount, you can share it at 10%.
Order, honorable members. Order, please. Order, honorable members. Honorable Mindy is on his feet.
Point of order.
Are you done, Honorable Mindy?
This mathematics is challenging, unless we could be having a blackboard to use it here so that it can guide us. I clear it that I'm clearing my last point is that...
Let's remain seated. Honorable Matata, what is the excitement for? Remain seated, please. Honorable Mindy, proceed, please.
I am now clear on my final point is that the 50% that I am calling upon is that we use of all development vote. Then finally, we used 10% of all development vote, and then 40% of all development vote. Whereby the 50% of development vote will go to executive for flashy projects, and the 10 and 40 of will come to our ward level.
The point of information.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Point of information.
Point of order, Honourable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the House.
Point of order, Honourable Speaker.
I think point of order will take precedence over the other. Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I'm standing order number 95, Honourable Speaker. Judging from what the committee members, Honourable Speaker, they are not giving us the clear picture, Honourable Speaker, and we are dealing with a very crucial bill, Honourable Speaker, under the second reading, Honourable Speaker. I rise so that I can move an adjournment, Honourable Speaker, so that these members can come and give us the right report, Honourable Speaker, so that we can get the right figure. In fact, the chairman should come up with some formula whereby members can understand, Honourable Speaker. Otherwise, we will be mixed up, Honourable Speaker. So I'm standing understanding order number 95, that we adjourn this session, Honourable Speaker. That is the motion, the bill, sorry, so that the chairman can come up with a clear information to the members, Honourable Speaker. I call upon Honourable Sangutei to second.
I do second, Mr. Speaker, because of the different versions. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the motion has, the motion has been seconded. I therefore wish to put the question that the debate be now adjourned. Will as many as of similar opinion say ayes?
Aye.
And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay?
Nay.
No, we will vote.
Nays have it. Nays have it. Nays.
Speaker, point of inquiry, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
I'm yet to give the tally.
Yes.
You want us to go for division in this?
Yes.
Let me put the question further.
We will vote.
That the debate, I now wish to put the question that the debate be now adjourned. Will as many as of similar opinion say ayes?
Aye.
And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay?
Nay.
The nays have it.
This is very important bill. Very important. Don't adjourn. Don't adjourn.
Honorable members.
Very important bill.
Honorable members, we may remain seated. It appears that we'll have to go for the division way. Yeah. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Order,
Mr. Speaker, I had an inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Honorable Keter. Honorable Keter. Honorable Keter. Please, let's remain seated. Honorable Matata. Honorable Matata, let's remain seated.
Watu hawajui hesabu? Hesabu ni ngumu hapa.
Order, honorable members. Order. Honorable Kipto. Order. We proceeding for a division. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Honorable Matata. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Honorable Birech. Honorable Birech. Honorable Birech. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, please. Honorable Birech. Honorable Birech. Honorable Birech. Honorable Birech. Order. This is a house of honor. I'll call upon us to let's remain committed and silent over this. Sergeant Atam, you can now ring the division bell. Honorable members, the division bell is being run, and we guided by the provisions of Standing Order number 68, which provides that unless otherwise provided under the Constitution, a question arising in the County Assembly shall be decided by a majority of the members in the County Assembly present and voting. In ascertaining the results on the question under paragraph 1, the Speaker shall, in the first instance, collect the voices of ayes and nays, and shall declare the results accordingly. On a question proposed for a decision in the County Assembly, the Speaker has no vote. Further, in determining the number of members of the County Assembly for the purpose of voting, the Speaker shall not be counted as a member. So, Honorable Clerk, we may proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I will mention their names, the names of the honorable members. If you are for the adjournment, you say aye. If you are against the adjournment, you say nay. I think that is clear. And you hold to your mics so that you are laudable enough. Honorable Wilson Keisang.
Yes, Honorable Clerk, I vote aye for adjournment.
Honorable Eliud K. Kirongo.
I vote aye.
Honorable Geoffrey Kevolwe.
Aye.
Honorable Milka Chumba. Absent. Honorable John Keter.
Aye.
Honorable Martin Douglas. Absent. Honorable Julius K. Aruse. Absent. Honorable Walter Kiplagat.
On behalf of people of Kabiet, I vote aye.
Honorable Trofosa Kuto. Absent.
I vote nay.
Sorry. Sorry for that. I thought you were absent. Thank you. Honorable Josephat K. Tarbe.
For the sake of general mathematics, I vote aye.
Honorable Josephat K. Bet.
I vote nay.
Honorable Richard Bet.
I vote nay.
Honorable CPA Paul K. Birech.
I vote nay for big understanding.
Honorable Raymond K. Chelule.
On behalf of the great people of Songo Soba, I vote aye.
Honorable Valentine Chemutai.
For accepted errors, I vote nay.
Honorable Jeff Kemboy Lisa. Lisa is absent. Okay. Honorable Jeff Kemboy Stancy.
I vote aye.
Honorable Faraj Salima Ali.
I vote nay.
Honorable Joan Jebet. Absent. Honorable Lucy Jepkemei.
I vote aye.
Honorable Jepto Susan. Absent. Honorable Chesang Sheila.
I vote nay.
Honorable Kakoni Hassan.
On behalf of Kaboreng people who require clarity, I vote aye.
Honorable Sarah Rubeti Kaino.
Being a teacher, this is just simple arithmetics which anybody can understand. I vote nay.
Chair, you will also guide the House on the
Honorable members, order, honorable members, Honorable Valentine. Honorable members, as we proceeding with the vote, we guided well by the standing orders that when called out, each member shall thereupon rise in his or her place and declare the assent or dissent to the question in the following manner: I vote yes, or I vote no, or I abstain.
Honorable Emmanuel Kipchumba.
I vote aye.
Honorable John K. Bitok. Absent. Honorable Kiprop Edwin.
I vote aye.
Honorable Kirwa Eliud.
No.
Honorable Gideon Kogo.
I vote aye.
Honorable Silas Kogo.
I vote aye.
Honorable Edwin K. Korir.
I vote aye.
Honorable Lydia Japto. Absent. Honorable Lydia Matuli. Honorable Magut Pamela Jabiji. Absent. Honorable Maina Isaiah.
I vote yes.
Honorable Mosbe Isaac.
On behalf of the great people of Kaptumo Kaboi, I vote yes.
Honorable Matata Benjamin Kerich.
I vote nay.
Honorable Rotich Ezra Kipchirchir. Absent. Honorable Matthew K. Sang.
Mr. Speaker, this is an issue I know we could agree on. I vote nay.
Honorable Davis K. Sangute.
I vote yes.
Honorable Bridget Songok.
I vote yes.
Honorable Cyrus K. Sum.
I vote nay.
Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Honorable Tarbey and Honorable Chairperson Finance. Let's maintain order. Yes, Honorable Clerk.
The Honorable Speaker, the results are as follows. The ayes is 20 votes. The nays 12. And those absent are 11. Thank you.
Honorable members, the net effect, honorable members, is that the motion is moved by Honorable Majority Leader on the adjournment of the debate carries the day, and therefore ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion.
Honorable Kiprop Edwin.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise on establishment of sales yard at Kipkimba Center at Nandils Ward, Nandils Sub-County. Honorable Speaker, aware that sales yard is a default function under Part 2 of the 4th Schedule of Constitution. Further aware that the sales yard contribute to the economic development of the livestock farmers, administration and promotion of effective and efficient operation of livestock market in the county. Noting that since 2013, the county government rarely almost entirely of the equitable share transfer to finance their budget and this has negative hampered cash flow and subsequently development projects. Noting that the Nandi Hills town is fast growing even though the introduction of mechanization in the tea sector is likely to slow the county's own source revenue. Understanding that the outskirts of Nandi Hills town has great business potential. Honorable Speaker, recognizing the need to spur economic growth and empowerment in the county, particularly that of Nandi Hills and its environs. Honorable Speaker, cognizant that there exists of public land at Kipkimba Center, Nandi Hills Ward, earmarked for sales yard, and that the land is under ownership of Nandi County government in accordance with Article 62 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, further cognizant of the livestock entrepreneurs who cannot access livestock market due to long distance from other sales yard, this House therefore resolved that the county executive member responsible for agriculture completes the process of establishment a sales yard at Kipkimba Center at Nandi Hills Ward, Nandi Hills Sub-County. Cassettes the sales yard and a report on its progress to the County Assembly. Honorable Speaker, we know that agriculture is the backbone in our county. Aware that among the manifesto of the President, of His Excellency the President, was for the bottom-up regime. One way of this of the manifestos of His Excellency the President, Honorable Speaker, is this one for the sales yard, and another thing that is going to increase the own source revenue within the Nandi County government, Honorable Speaker, is the operationalization of the yard for the county government to acquire more revenue. Honorable Speaker, I call upon honorable members to support for the operationalization of the said sales yard within Nandi Hills Ward, Nandi County. I now call our Deputy Leader of Majority, Honorable Speaker, to second the motion.
Honorable members, I now propose on the motion on the establishment of the sales yard at Kipkimba Center at Nandi Hills Ward, Nandi Hills Sub-County. Yes, Honorable Tarbay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion by our able member of County Assembly for Nandils. Mr. Speaker, as the mover of the motion has stated it categorically, this is one of the ways of promoting the bottom-up economic model, Mr. Speaker. And from the look of things, Mr. Speaker, this is a motion that doesn't require a lot of funding. Mr. Speaker, it's just a matter of opening a sale yard for the hustlers in Nandils, where they'll be able to come and do trading in terms of livestock, Mr. Speaker. And this should not even come through the motion, Mr. Speaker, but because there is laxity in some department, Mr. Speaker, I believe this one will be acted upon by the CC concerned. Just cassetting Kipkimba market because the land itself there is no acquisition of land. It's already an existing land owned by the county. So it's a matter of just opening a sale yard, maybe fencing. And maybe, Mr. Speaker, if the county will lack maybe posts, they can come even to our place there. They'll acquire free posts to go and fence the bomber for selling yards, for the sale yard, Mr. Speaker. So this is a motion which will uplift the livelihood of the people of Nandils, and it doesn't require a lot of resources. And I believe the chairman for implementation, although he has left, will follow it keenly, Mr. Speaker, so that this thing is acted upon as quickly as possible, and the people of Nandils will be able to be proud of their honorable member of parliament. So I want to congratulate the mover, and I ask the honorable members that we support this motion so that the people of Nandils can get value for money, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Honorable Bet.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to support the motion moved by Honorable Kiprop, MCA Nandils. Honorable Speaker, it is a very important idea, making sure that sales yard is in Kipkimba. It is also a source of revenue to Nandi County, Honorable Speaker. Let us support the motion, and I wish the motion could have touched all the wards, Honorable Speaker, because even in my ward, we do require sales yards. Sales yard is a source of revenue, Honorable Speaker. I do support the motion, 100%, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Kogo Silas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to make my remarks concerning the motion led by Honorable Kiprop and MCA Nandils on the sales yard of Kipkimba. Honorable Speaker, I think this one has come at the right time, that we need even more. And after my understanding with an interaction with the Honorable MCA Kiprop, this is already a constructed yard. It's only for the CC to give dates and days and time so that this yard will assist our traders within and without the county. Honorable Speaker, remember this will generate our own source revenue, and also, Mr. Speaker, our youths and many more will get employed or get employment within that yard. So, Honorable Speaker, I sincerely say that it's a good idea for all of us here in Nandi. So, Honorable Speaker, I fully support. Thank you.
Honorable Richard Bett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I, being a resident of Nandi Sub-County, I also rise to support the putting up of Kipkimba Market. For those who reside within the environs, it is a basic catchment area for doing business. I want to stand and support that we all support this idea. This is one way of growing economy. This is one way of empowering our youths. Ensure business kicks on in this Kipkimba market for development of Nandils and largely Nandi County government. Let us all support this and ensure we grow our economy through business. Thank you.
Honorable Keter, I can see your mic is on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to support this because being one of the own revenue, we accept because and it will give us a lot of employment. I know, Mr. Speaker, all measures has been put in place, including where people can assist themselves or shelter. I think that is what is very important. And also it will create, I know people from the same place will have opportunity to sell their food, cows, and many other things. So this is a way to go, and I will encourage other members to follow the suit, because that is the only way we can assist people from the resident from the Kipkimba and the entire ward. We should follow the suit. So I stand to support that motion. Thank you.
And see Honorable Matthew Sang, and thereafter Honorable Kirwa Maindi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support my colleague by realizing that there is that potential at that area. I can attest, since I once used to be around that area. We have another one at Chebarus, which will really assist, since we get very good cattle around there. So we request that this House supports the bill, the request by the Honorable Member that is coming up with the sales yard, so that it can spur that area to be expansive and also generates an income for the same county. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Maindi, thereafter Honorable Cyrus Sum.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to support the motion from the sales yard from our honorable member from Nandils. This one, the sales yard will assist a lot the people from the community. It gives fairness when you are transacting and selling your animals, because it reduces a lot of brokers who capitalize on our farmers. And secondly, it allows also good generation of our revenue, because the control of livestock will be in one place, whereby our revenue will rise. I stand to support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I rise to concur with all the honorable members who have supported the establishment of a sales yard at Kipkimba Market. My reason may be a bit different. I always use the road connecting Kapsabet and Mosoriot. And you can agree with me that the pressure and congestion that is always in Jepterit sales yard is really overwhelming. And I think the establishment of this yard at Nandils will result in relieving the pressure and congestion that is always at Jepterit Market on Wednesdays. I support, and it is a prudent idea. Thank you.
Honorable members, Honorable Chelule.
Yes. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this initiative, as this would create more revenue to the county. Just like in my ward, there are areas where these yards should be established, and even the markets for Mamamboga and what have you, and even cloth vendors and what have you, need to be established for the people to hustle and in the process raise revenue for the county government. I totally support. Thank you.
Honorable Kiprop, will you now wish to give a right of reply?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First, I want to thank your office, Honorable Speaker, for the support that you've given us. Also, I want to extend a word of thanks to the clerk's office. I want to say thank you. That I want to say thank you to the floor of all honorable members. I want to thank you for your input on this motion. I want to thank each and every one of you. Fourthly, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the great people of Nandi Hills Ward for establishment of the yard at Kipkimba Center. I want to promise them I'm going to work well for their request. I want to thank each and every one of you. Let us work as a team. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now wish to put the question that aware that the sales yard is a devolved function under Part 2 of the 4th schedule of the Constitution, further aware that the sales yard contributes to the economic development of livestock farmers, administration and promotion of effective and efficient operation of livestock markets in the county, noting that since 2013, county government rely almost entirely on the equitable share transfer to finance their budget, and this has negatively hampered cash flow and subsequently development projects, noting that Nandi Hills Town is a fast growing, even though the introduction of mechanization in the tea sector is likely to slow the county's own source revenue. Understanding that the outskirts of Nandi Hills Town have great business potential, recognizing the need to spur economic growth and empowerment in the county, particularly that of Nandi Hills and its environs. Cognizant that there exists public land at Kipkimba Center, Nandi Hills Ward, earmarked for sales yard, and that the land is under ownership of Nandi County Government in accordance with Article 62 of the Constitution. Further, cognizant of the livestock entrepreneurs who cannot access livestock market due to long distance from other sales yards, this House therefore resolves that the county executive member responsible for agriculture completes the process of establishing a sales yard at Kipkimba Center at Nandi Hills Ward, Nandi Hills Sub-County, gazettes the sales yard day and a report on its progress to County Assembly. Will as many as of similar opinion say ayes? Aye. And will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 10, adjournment.
Honorable members, there being no any other prayer on the order of business today, the House stands adjourned till 29th June 2:30 p.m.